Look. Come on. Look, if there's any need to grovel, I'll do it. What a nice crowd tonight.
Beautiful.
Hello, Zorro. Where did you get that?
You can just call me Tiger.
How are you tonight? In a good mood? We got a good show for you. And do not try to leave during the monologue, because all of the seats are Velcro, and I'll hear you. Friday. It's Friday, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I love about Friday? Gives me a chance to do all my weekend marketing and get rid of all of my coupons. You know, don't buy that, huh? I should point out that under the new law, you're all required to laugh in English only. I still really don't understand that law. I think they're being a little strict with it here in California. Beverly Hills, for example, the new leaf blower service manual is in English only. And it just doesn't make any sense. Well, you're entitled, I guess. I went to my favorite French restaurant last night. Oh. No longer in English only. Oh. Yeah, there's no more escargot and pâté de foie gras. It says snails with goose liver. By the way, this is the monologue, and it was kind of nice because this week, did you see Time magazine? They referred to the monologue and on the show as America's cultural guidepost. And I thought that was very nice until I realized that a guidepost is something if a dog is walking down the street. Sometimes uses.
Yeah.
Before we continue the monologue, here's a little reminder for you people watching at home on your screens. Okay? You didn't see the monitor, so you don't know what I'm talking about. Now it's there now. Okay. This was a... Anyway. My day started off so weird.
Yeah?
How weird? Called my doctor for my annual flu shot. His nurse said he was stranded on a desert island with a bottle of Bayer aspirin and 999 other doctors. You started out such a sweet group. There was a new strain of flu going around? Seriously. Every year we have a new strain of flu. Are you familiar with it? The Taiwan flu? According to the papers, the vaccine that you had last year does not protect against Taiwan flu, and the vaccine will not be available for 2 weeks. But there is good news. If you do happen to get the Taiwan flu, you are eligible for massive aid from the United States. So I went to my... I went to my doctor here at NBC.
Right.
You've been to him?
Yeah.
Al Bendova?
Yeah, yeah.
Al? Great doctor, a little weird. He colorizes his x-rays. What else was happening? A lot of show business. How many of you watched a show called Kate O'Brien Surgeon? Well, there's probably one of the... That was one of the problems. The show is not doing well in the ratings, and apparently they may go off. To bolster ratings, Kate O'Brien Surgeon next week is going to separate Siamese twins and then reattach them to 2 game show hosts. I'm just mucking along here. How many of you know what sweep months are in television? They take the ratings of 3 or 4 times a year to see what shows are popular, and all the networks, even local shows, resort to all kinds of sensationalism to get ratings, even the local news. A girl named Colleen Williams, did you see on the local news out here, did an investigative report last night entitled, "Driving Over Speed Bumps is the Only Safe Sex Left." It was on last night. How many of you are getting a little tired of seeing the Surgeon General on TV of the United States? Have you seen him? He's on all the time now, and they play this film. He said it's no longer a good idea to have sex with somebody you don't know very well. Isn't that the whole fun of it? Don't send letters on that. It's just a little levity. We had Joan Collins on the show last night, and she was talking about a movie she's making with George Hamilton, Joan Collins, called Monte Carlo. Interestingly enough, he plays an international playboy, and she plays a Riviera adventuress. What a stretch for those two actors. I don't know. I thought they were going to play two farm workers in The Grapes of Wrath. Now, our Secretary of State, he saw this in the paper today, George Shultz, held some arms talks in Vienna, and they failed to reach an agreement again. And Shultz repeated over there that President Reagan is not a lame duck. And Shultz said, I spoke with Ronald today. You see, I knew I'd get to you sooner or later. Now, here's a weird thing in the paper, and I'm not quite sure how it works. It's in the scientific field, but I'm not making it up. In the Los Angeles Times today, the scientists, now how many of you read this, about fusing the genes in fireflies to tobacco leaves?
Yeah.
And they've come up with a plant, I guess, that glows in the dark. I mean, what a breakthrough. Now, if they could only do that with broccoli so I could avoid it in the dark. They're making great strides in science, though. Someday, they may be able to cross an illegal alien with a valley girl, and you get a lottery winner who can say gracias for sure. You see? I save the biggies for last. I don't. Okay, the new issue of Playboy magazine features a pictorial of, you know what? The girls of 7-Eleven. I don't know about you, that's perfectly logical. Anytime I want to see sexy, beautiful women, I head right to 7-Eleven. Isn't beautiful girls of 7-Eleven kind of a contradiction in terms? It's like genius spokesmodel. Okay, we got a great show tonight. Just as an afterthought, after the show, interview dining in the NBC cafeteria. The chef has just announced that the catch of the day is a coyote from Griffith Park. This should be a very entertaining. I'm looking forward to the show tonight. We have Mr. Alan Thicke with us tonight. We have charming actress Rosanna Arquette is here. And I'm sure you all know Miss Oprah Winfrey. And she is with us. Here we are. We'll be right back. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Hello there. Hello. All right, let me tell you what. I don't know if this show's on, but if somebody will see this, they'll say, what's wrong with your ear? Let me show you here. Bob, can you get a close-up here, right here? You see that?
Somebody bit you.
Let me tell you what I was doing this afternoon.
I want to hear this.
How many of you have done this? I noticed a couple of little, hair sticking out here. So I picked up a pair of scissors. And I reached back and went like that. And all of a sudden I went, oh, fill in the blank. And about the size of a half a jelly bean.
Right.
Fell into the sink. And now the trouble is, I guess, because the nerve or the blood vessels are so close, you can't stop the damn thing.
Yeah, from bleeding.
Yeah, I get a ball of Kleenex and bring it away, and it looked like a tomato. You know, and I kept doing this. Oh, and you feel so silly. It's just dripping away into the sink, and all of a sudden I said I've always had this deep desire to be a great painter, and I thought maybe, you know, the Van Gogh syndrome or something was kicking up. So I got some of that. What do you call that? Not colloidal or sealer. Is that what it is, Harry? Yeah, Harry Blake in makeup puts on some sealer. I guess I use it on aluminum siding or something. Have you ever done that?
Nothing like that, no.
Oh, come on.
No.
How many have done
Why
that?
don't you go over to the nurse?
Nobody's ever done that?
No.
Okay. How about, now, I don't mean this to be distasteful.
You're not going to tell us how to do it now, are you?
No. How many of you tried to trim the hair in your nose and all of a sudden have... Nobody's done that either?
You're a menace.
How about shaving your legs? No, women only. You've never done that?
Never done it, no.
Well, okay, all right. Anyway, moving along. Rosanna Arquette is here, and Oprah Winfrey will be out later. My first guest, you all know, he once had his own talk show. He's a very talented actor. He's a hit now. He's not a hit. The show's a hit. He's a star of the hit comedy. Is your retina connected to this at all? The same nerves that handle the eyes also handles the mouth, because I can't read and I can't see this thing. What kind of an insurance policy do we have at NBC? Injury on the job, something like that? All right. No, it's called Growing Pains, and it's a big success. Now, Ellen is also going to be in Perry Mason, The Case of the Shooting Star. Is that with Raymond Burr?
Yes.
Raymond's coming back? Good for him. All right, this Sunday, November 9th at 9:30 at 9 o'clock on NBC.
You want to borrow these?
Let me see this a second. Where's the desk?
You look good in those. He looks good in those.
Where's the desk? Do you wear these when you're piloting your boat?
Yes.
Land ho! Okay. Am I introducing somebody?
Yes.
Of course I am.
Alan Thicke.
Alan Thicke,
Growing
who is growing older as we talk. It's
Shooting
November
star.
9th at 9 o'clock.
Shooting star.
What did I say?
Isn't that the case of the shooting
The Case of the Shooting Star. And if that isn't enough, and it probably is as far as I'm concerned, no. He's also beginning a feature film. All right. I was reading this week. There is a name for that when you reverse letters in a word. It's not dyslexia.
It's screwing up.
Yeah. There's a name for that. It's like when you ask for a mazagine. When you reverse, what is that aphasia? Stupid. No, there's a legitimate name for
Our
that.
staff will find out.
Find out what that is.
They're all running there.
In other words, when you put the letters, you say a mazagine or a lunamum.
Yeah.
It's just like I said, phlegm. There's a technical name for that, and it's not screwing up. He's also beginning a feature film.
It's the longest introduction
It
in
is,
life.
right. It's called Hit and Run. Hey, I got it. Alan Thicke. Is that about the longest intro you've ever had?
My last series didn't last as long as that.
I think I'm working under an additional hazard or something here. I don't know. Everything went at once. Did you ever have nights like that where nothing is just...
Hey, a whole year.
Yeah, sorry
Just
about
a
that.
blur.
Didn't mean to bring up old Perry Mason.
Yes.
That was a big hit. How long did Perry Mason, the original series, run? About 8 or 9 years?
11, I think.
11 years.
11, and now he's back again.
Well, they've done a few Perry Mason
Yeah.
films, and the one on Sunday night at 9 o'clock is the most recent of those.
That's the one that you, of course, were.
I am in it, yes.
Well, you have
And-
a big part, don't you?
Well, I have an important part. It's not a big part. I play
what's
the
your-
role of a wildly successful talk show host.
Yes.
It's a bit of a stretch for me. And But what happens is that I get murdered.
Ah, there's
on
an
the
idea,
air.
yeah.
Yeah. Right after the monologue. I get, yeah.
Is this based on any particular...
Well, on my series, there were nights I would have shot myself.
Yeah.
But
So you're
this
out
was-
and you're shot.
And then I'm gone. This is,
Yeah.
and they talk about me and they solve the mystery.
Aren't there flashbacks where you appear after that?
Yes. Posthumously, I'm in the rest of the film.
That's not bad. Was it fun?
It was, yes. It was my first heavy dramatic role since The Love Boat.
How did you get on Love Boat? Aren't you a little young for Love Boat?
Well, they have, thank you, but they have different ages. I played a jilted senator, and once I played a spurned accountant, and I once played a perpetual alimony victim. I
must have been busy.
So, but the new film that you kindly refer to, Hit and Run, is a courtroom drama.
9 o'clock.
It is, yeah. But
have you ever done any other films as such?
well, none that you'd care to see. I did a film a few years ago in which I played a professional downhill ski racer. It was called Silver Arrow, and
For legitimate? I mean, a
Yeah.
regular...
but they couldn't
In color
sell.
and everything?
Color and several cameras and hills, but they couldn't sell the film, so the director went in and reshot some scenes to enhance the plot, and coincidentally, these scenes were all done in a hot tub. And so when you actually see the film, you don't really see me downhill racing. You see some topless snow bunnies saying, "He's so fast, look at him go." And they had a distributor like that.
This was an exploitation film.
Yeah, well, it turned out to be. They changed the title from Silver Arrow to Club Bosom or something.
Oh, come on.
And it's now on video cassette.
Did that ever show here?
At my place once or twice, but
Why didn't you bring a copy of that in? Next time you're here, why don't you see if you can get a little excerpt of that, if you can get it cleared?
You probably don't want my part.
No, of course not. The hot tub stuff.
Yeah.
We have to do this. We're coming right back. Stay where you are. Okay, we are back. Talking with Alan Thicke, Rosanna Arquette, Oprah Winfrey. Did somebody... Well, that's still annoying. Did somebody find out what that particular trouble was when you reverse letters in a word?
They're all looking.
I don't know why I'm stuck on that now, but I won't sleep tonight unless I solve that.
That's another problem.
What's that?
Not sleeping tonight. But I know that's called insomnia.
Yeah, I know that. Yes. Do you have any phobias at all? I mean, real phobias, an unnatural fear of anything.
No.
Claustrophobia.
It
has
not anymore.
Fear of heights.
Fear of heights, believe it or not.
I used to be just afraid of fear, and I've overcome that.
There's a name for that, too.
We'll look that up.
Look that up while you're at it.
Two researchers have.
You know what triskaidekaphobia is?
Pardon?
Triskaidekaphobia? The fear of the number 13. It's an actual phobia. There are some weird ones.
Well, how about the one you have?
I don't want to even talk about it.
Nyctophobia.
We've been through that so many times.
Alan doesn't know it.
No, I got here late.
It's, it's a fear of being naked and running full speed backwards into a brass doorknob. It's a little known...
Oh, that one.
It's a little known phobia, and we bring it up ever so often just to keep the thing going.
Well, there's a telethon for that, I think.
Yeah. Yes.
What does the board say?
But aren't you... How about if you were walking down the street and you came to a crack or a ladder, would you step on the crack? Do you remember the thing as a kid?
I'm not that superstitious personally. I would step right through the crack. Of course, I went on the air against you for a year,
No,
too.
I
so
wouldn't.
I have...
Well, you're unusual if you don't have any kind of superstitions or phobias.
I don't think so. I think I'm not that much of a fatalist. I like to think we are self-determining our lives, for better or for worse.
There's a name for that, too.
Yes, that's
Look that up.
That's making just...
we have it. We have the information. We don't have the information.
No. There's
we'd like to have
somebody
the
who has a phobia
information,
about her
please.
job now.
Well, when you get the information, give me the information.
Peter Lorre and kind of like... What?
The current thought is it's aphasia, but they're not sure.
That's what I said, aphasia.
Yes.
Is that aphasia?
That's where they heard it.
Okay, all right. But we're not sure, are we?
Well, but I feel better just being able to answer that.
Okay, moving along in this bombastic review. I hear that you're going to do a photo for Playgirl magazine? Is this true?
Playgirl it is, yes. I'm the cover boy in...
Playgirl?
In February, yes.
Yeah. An honor that comes to few people.
Well, this is a particular honor because it happens to be the first issue ever of Playgirl's new policy of no nudity. So I'm not sure how to take that, but I'm the poster boy for putting your clothes on for them. And
that's unusual. Why did they do that? Because of the getting.
I don't know. I guess it's just changing an image.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen a lot of shots of guys out in the woods, you know, chopping wood in the snow with their shirt off, and
the guys who are doing it look like they wouldn't be out chopping wood either. You know.
No, but
fell that tree.
Yeah. But they're
Timber.
good-looking guys.
Of course they are.
They do look good. By the time whatever that magical lens is they use, these guys all look good. And I didn't pose naked
well,
in the magazine.
I wasn't referring that you would.
No, well,
folks.
I have my standards, and they didn't ask me. So apparently they have standards of their own.
You wouldn't have done that anyway, and you know that.
No, I would have been uncomfortable.
Didn't you do a calendar once? There was a calendar out on buns or something?
I was in the
there was a men's buns, they called it.
I was Mr. January.
You're kidding.
In the 1984 Buns calendar.
Are you serious?
Well, yes, but I did it for laughs, which is a sad commentary when you get laughs and you take it. But I didn't show my buns. Some guys were showing the whole bakery there. Yeah. There was a you get up to August and there's a guy chopping wood with his pants on now. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but I couldn't do that now. I'm a sitcom dad, and
That's the whole image, you know.
You didn't
family and
see
so forth.
Robert Young mooning the coffee machine or anything?
No.
This is, I have to...
Certain images would have been absolutely destroyed, Robert Young.
And in those magazines, I think, too, you know, you don't want to invite comparison.
That's true.
I think that's
true.
Enough of that. You know, anybody who said that all men are created equal never saw Lyle Alzado in the shower.
I have no burning desire to see Lyle Alzado.
Well, I did.
It's not high on my priorities.
No, it's an honor, though.
Yeah.
You think Queskin's amazing.
You're talking industrial strength.
Yeah.
Okay. Enough said about that. I think we painted a picture for you. And while you're thinking about that picture, we'll take a break and we'll come back. Let me show you where we... Okay. Let me show you where we stand currently in the vocabulary here. Apparently, it's not aphasia. Aphasia is not recognizing words because of usually from brain damage. This business I'm talking about, of turning words around, a gentleman in the audience thought it was apraxis, but I'm not sure of that either. So we're going to keep on that, and we'll find out. Yeah.
According to a Dr. Person at St. Joe's, it's a form of dyslexia.
No, there's a separate name for this. Dyslexia is an inability to understand when you're reading.
Another opinion.
Second opinion.
But there is, get another opinion, and tell the doctor to call me back in the morning. And to take 2 aspirin. We're gonna get to the root of this. I don't know why, but don't you get when you get on something like this? And it's funny because I was reading about this the other day. I don't think it's... Well, we'll find out what it is. There was another word that was in the same list. Echolalia. You know what that is?
Echolalia?
You've done it. We've all done echolalia.
It's a fear of saying something again?
You're very close. What it is what children do, mimicking what has just been said. Remember when you drive your brother or sister nuts, they'd say, "Where are you going to go? Where are you going to go?" and he'd answer, "Where are you going to go? Where are you going to go?" And you want to get the last one in? Mm-hmm. You can keep awake all night doing that. It's like, remember you'd be in bed, "Good night, good night, good night. All right, stop it. All right, stop it." That's called echolalia, and we're going to find out what this is called in a moment. My watch just came off because of my ear.
You're very well.
I lost so much blood that my wrist went smaller. I'm working with a quart low, you understand here. Anybody with AB positive blood here? I'm AB positive, which is apparently a rare type. What type blood are you? Do you remember?
I don't know. I have echolalia. Nobody will take my blood.
Nobody will take my blood.
Nobody will take
my blood, you see?
No,
that's... All right, stop it. No. Okay, stop it. Now you say...
You stop.
Okay, stop it.
Stop.
Okay. Just excuse me a second, folks. No, I don't do that. The stagehands will cop of that. I better bring out our next guest. She's very attractive, popular young actress, and she's starring in a new movie that's opening today all around the country called Nobody's Fool, and she's hosting tomorrow night's Saturday Night Live on NBC. Would you welcome Rosanna Arquette? Now for the vocabulary drill.
Okay.
I don't know how we got started in this anyway. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
You're okay, huh?
Yes.
Been changes in your life since you were here last, I hear.
Yes.
You were, what, over a year ago?
No, I got married
You got married?
2 months ago.
2 months ago? Mm-hmm. Well, congratulations. You don't say congratulations to the woman, do you? You say congratulations to the groom for getting the woman. I guess to the bride you say, I hope you'll be very happy, or best wishes, or how's your echolalia, or something like that. Do you have any phobias or superstitions? We seem to get into that tonight. Anything that bothers you unnaturally? Fear of heights?
That bothers me unnaturally. I don't know.
Yeah.
Critics?
Fear of critics?
Yeah, no. I was thinking about today because I started getting depressed because I have a movie coming out, and it's that pressure of having a film coming out, and they write a review, and if they don't like you, and
are you very sensitive, or do you take criticism badly?
Terribly. Everybody's teaching me that you really shouldn't read your reviews, which I don't, but someone calls me up and, hey, listen to this one over the phone.
Isn't that funny? A good friend calls you. You may have missed it. It may be a snotty review, but the friend says, you know, as a friend, I think you should know. I wanted you to hear it from me, and then they kill you.
It's true. Well, no, they've been okay, but it's just, I do any little thing that's just a little off, I go, I take it to heart.
Yeah.
But,
I think most people, unless they're lying, don't like to be criticized because it's kind of a personal attack. I've heard actors say it doesn't bother me, but I don't understand that.
I think it does. It hurts me. I get my feelings hurt.
So how's the marriage? Are you happy?
It's good. That's really wonderful. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's in Australia. He's
married a musician, didn't you?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah. The band goes, yeah.
I like musicians. I've always been with musicians.
What is it about musicians that you find attractive? I mean, they have strange hours. They travel. They're not the most stable people in the world. Except our band is extremely sensitive. They're sensitive.
And I really love music. It's funny. I've always been with a musician. When I was 5 years old, my first boyfriend when I was 5, I would walk home from school and I would go and watch Mr. Rogers with this 5-year-old boy, and I would watch him have his piano lessons. And I think it started then. I always liked
You're attracted
musicians.
to...
Uh-huh.
That's probably...
But it's not something I went out and
There's a name for that, too.
Yeah.
Check into that. What is an unnatural desire for musicians? Got to be something that way. Any particular instrument that attracts you?
Oh, I like...
Does that sound like a good question?
I like keyboards. I like the keyboards.
You get a little desperate when you've been at this for a number of years. When you start saying, is there any particular instrument that attracts you, you know you're headed for the Twilight Zone. I mean, you mentioned piano. Is it piano players, drummers?
I like drummers. I do like drummers.
See, I play drums.
You do?
Yeah, well, I play attic. I try.
Really?
Yeah. Why? Why drummers?
I don't know. Something about the beat. This is ridiculous.
Of course it is,
I like musicians. I just like music. I've always, in my work, when I work, I use music in a Walkman, sometimes to get into the mood for different kinds of scenes I have to do, emotions.
Sure.
That's what I do.
Let's talk about your movie a little bit. You want to do that? Why not?
Okay.
The title?
It's called Nobody's Fool. It's a romantic comedy. It's an old-fashioned story, and it's written by a writer named Beth Henley, who I think is a wonderful writer, and Eric Roberts and Mare Winningham, who I love, and Louise Fletcher are in it. And it's a romantic.
Old-fashioned? I mean,
yeah, it's very old-fashioned. And
would you describe yourself as an old-fashioned girl, whatever that means? I mean,
no, I wouldn't describe myself, but I think this girl, there's little old-fashioned qualities in the movie, and it's quirky. It's fun. I like this movie. I hope. I mean,
well, good.
Hope other people do.
Yeah. And Saturday
We'll
night.
See it.
Saturday Night Live normally is live, but it's not tomorrow night that you're hosting, because I understand when you did Saturday Night Live, you got preempted by the World Series, like a lot of us did late at night.
Oh God, it was unbelievable because you're geared up to go live, and the whole audience, it was like this, and the audience was in the audience watching the game on the TV, and it was 1 o'clock in the morning, and we were going to go on at 1, and then we just were about 6 minutes over, and we decided they couldn't put us on.
The audience must have been crazed because the Mets...
It was an
in New
amazing
York.
game. It was the game that won, you know? Yeah. It was great. And after all, the World Series was more important, so.
Yeah.
But
so anyway, it plays tomorrow night.
we shot it in front of a live audience, and it was fun. I had a really great time. The way they worked, this cast this year is really funny.
Last time you were here, you were talking about you felt awkward, or not embarrassed. You were driving a very expensive sports car, a Porsche, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Or Porsche. What's correct? Porsche or Porsche?
Yeah.
Look that up, would you?
Well,
and you felt
because
uncomfortable
I was playing
driving
a role. I was doing a film, and I was playing an expensive call girl. And the girls that I met were all driving these very expensive cars. So I, at that time, bought one. I guess I was in character, and it was kind of silly. So I had been trying to sell it. Well, I never sold it. I don't drive it. My husband drives it.
Yeah.
I bought a truck.
A truck?
I bought a Jeep, and I just kind of crashed it. I crashed it. It was not fun. I was parked, and this lady was pulling up, and she pulled in front of me, and we went into each other, and I dented her car, and she dented mine. It was terrible, and these people were having us move. They were very upset that we were in somebody's driveway in a store, and they said, move your car, move your car. And I got so nervous that I backed up, and I bashed into somebody else's car behind me.
Your insurance rates are going to go up, you know that.
I know.
You have an accident, and they immediately go up.
I know. So, but right now, I have to drive the James's car because my car's in the shop.
Okay. We'll take a break. We're coming right back. Oprah Winfrey's here. Stay where you are. My next guest, I'm sure you all know, is a very outspoken, talented lady who hosts her own syndicated talk show called, strangely enough, The Oprah Winfrey Show. And she's going to be starring in a new movie called Native Son, which will be out in December. Would you welcome Oprah Winfrey? Well, good to see you.
I've developed aphasia in the back. Wait.
Yeah.
Yes, I now have it. Yes.
Well, I don't know why we got on that. You have, well, as long as you're out here, you have any phobias, any fears, superstitions about anything?
No, I don't. But you know,
I don't believe any of you tonight. Nobody has.
I really don't. Because I'm like Alan. I believe that you're self-determined and you can be whatever it is you want to be. But I remember doing a show. This is the worst when you're on the air and you die on the air sometimes. Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was doing a show. This is before we went national, and the guy claimed to have a 5-minute phobia cure. And we had all these people in the audience who were afraid of different things. They're afraid of animals and different things. And he had the animals there, and in 5 minutes they were going to be cured. Half hour into the show, nobody's cured. He'd like slap you against the head and you're supposed to be cured.
Yeah, didn't work.
Nothing happened. Died a slow death.
Yeah. People who have phobias, and I'm not putting them down, are well-grounded. They actually have those fears.
Yeah, that's true.
I have a reoccurring dream, and I'll bet most of you have had it, being all entertainers. At night, you are appearing in a play.
Yes!
Or you're something, and you cannot remember what you are going to say when you walk out.
Yeah, that's a classic actor's
dream. And you
dream.
cannot, and you're ready to go on, and all the other actors are there, and you say, what am I going to say?
That happens to you.
It is frightening.
You know when that happens to you? When you're like away from home or when things are going on in your life that make you feel very uncertain. And the more certain you get, this happened to me once, and the more certain you get, the better the dream gets. Because I dreamed this when I was away from home and not knowing anybody, and I couldn't find the lines and I didn't know the lines. By the time I got home, I was singing with Stevie Wonder in my dreams. See, I knew the lines, I could sing, I could do everything.
That's strange. Yeah. Do you have nightmares?
No, really. The biggest nightmare I had was, oh, God, it was the worst. The last time I was out here was for Oscars.
You were up for an Academy Award for The Color Purple.
Don't say Purple Rain. I thought you said Purple Rain.
The Color Purple.
Yeah.
And you didn't get it?
No.
How did you feel? Well, of course you didn't feel good, naturally.
Actually...
What a dumb question that is. How did you feel when a car went into your window?
Well, you know what?
I was like one of those dumb newsmen.
More disappointed that the movie didn't win anything.
Well.
I was relieved that I did not. And people don't believe me, but what happened was I had this special dress made for the Oscars because the Oscars is the biggest prom night of your life. Yes, it's the biggest prom night. It's the greatest bat mitzvah you ever had. It's the wedding I never had. So I had this dress made by a wonderful designer who's very famous for doing gowns for Hollywood. So I thought very reputable. And I came out here, was at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel on the Sunday before the Monday of the Oscars. Tried on the gown. My best friend was here. The gown was fine. He said, but darling, I think I need to bring it in at the knee a little bit because that's the smallest part on me, the knees, he said. So I'd like to bring it in at the knee so it'll make your knees look very small. Okay. So I said, well, I don't know about this because I don't know if I can get the gown by tomorrow. He said, don't worry, I'll be there to dress you. The next day, I'm being done. Hair done, feet done, nails done. Everything can be done, I'm being done because it's the biggest night of your life. And so I said, I really don't have time to try on the gown. He says, don't worry, it's fine. When I go to try on the gown, it's 5 minutes to 4. You're supposed to be in your seat at 5 o'clock, okay? 5 minutes to 4, the gown does not go over my head.
Oh, God.
Yes, you understand, Rosanna. So I say to
It's hard for Ellen and I to relate to that.
It doesn't go over my head. So I say to my friend Gail, I say, Gail, didn't this gown go over my head yesterday? She said, yeah, girl. So I know I'm in trouble. So then she said, if I were you, I'd put it on from the bottom because you don't want to mess your hair because all the purple streaks. Yeah. I'd go to put it on from the bottom and it won't go on because what happened...
Well, if it won't go over your head, how can it go over your bottom?
Because I'm thinking I can pull it up.
I see.
Okay? So then...
Technically, I don't understand these things.
So, because we think, okay, it won't go over your head. Maybe it'll go on from the bottom. So... What happened was he took the seam in, or the seamstress took the seam in at the knee and used that same seam and went all the way up the thigh.
Well, that doesn't make it.
No, it doesn't make it. Knee and thigh measurements are not the same. So we're panicked at 4:15. It's 4:15 now, and we're looking for a seamstress to undo the dress and can't. So we decided, my girlfriend, the designer, the hairdresser, all the people who were there doing me, that I would have to lie down on the floor. My girlfriend took her foot and held my butt down. And the four of them pulled this gown on from the bottom. And I traveled to the Academy Awards on my back in the limousine. True. So I get to the Academy Awards, and the thing is, when you walk into the Oscars, there are not a lot of black people there. So you walk in, everyone turns around and say, who is it? Lionel Richie? No. Diana Ross? No. Who is it? Some girl in a tight dress. Yeah. So I walk in, and I cannot, can I show you? I cannot, literally, I'm like this, and I cannot get myself seated in the chair. So I'm half lying and half sitting because this dress is a small down payment on a home. So the collar is a beaded collar. It's 12 pounds. Anybody ever sat in a tight dress? You sit in a tight dress with a collar, the collar rises, Johnny. A 12-pound collar that rises can kill you.
I go through.
So I'm lying in the chair for the Oscar. Steven Spielberg had said to me that there'll be 3.5 seconds where you will want the Oscar. I'm praying, God, let Angelica Houston get this. Let her get it. So as I'm sitting there, I believe in my own spirituality. I'm holding the collar, trying to look natural. And I hear the voice of God say to me, you are not going to win this Oscar because you cannot walk up the steps to get it. So I knew before you knew at home that I was not going to win the Oscar. I was relieved.
It's a funny story. It's all fake, all fake.
Yeah.
I think, you know, there's a name for that. When you can't get your dress on over your head, but you can from the bottom. Check on that. Okay.
That happens to a lot of women, though.
I didn't know that.
During the days of the jeans where you have to lie on the ground to get your Calvin Kleins on. You all know, right? You
used to be a newscaster, didn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, you delivered. Was that where now?
I started out, you know, as a newscaster when I was 19 years old in Nashville, Tennessee.
Was it one of those happy local newscast type of things?
The worst. When you're covering stories, live shots, when nobody is live there but you. Yeah. And you're saying, you know, moments ago this and that happened. And I ended up, you know, spending a lot of time covering local stories and doing, you know, cockatoos at the zoo and covering birthday parties with, you know, octogenarians and people who were 104 and 105 years old who didn't know it was their birthday. Yeah. You'd have to say, Mr. Jim, it's your birthday.
But good experience.
Yeah, great experience.
Great experience. You learn it. Oh, it's your what birthday? Yes, that is. We'll be right back. Stay where you are. All right, here's an update. Okay. We have an update. Our staff has diligently been on trying to find out the meaning of these words. We still don't know what the word is where you change the letters within a word, but we found out what your fear is. A fear of fear is phobophobia, marked by the fear of one's own fear. There you are. There'll be film at 11.
I was afraid of that.
I feel better now.
Don't you, though? This is kind of, I want people when they tune in, maybe they think it's PBS. Or something
To know. You know, people lie when you ask them what shows you watch, and people always say they watch PBS because they want to sound intelligent. You know?
That's
but
true.
I know you're not watching.
You go out, and if they take a survey, you'll ask people on the street, what do you think is wrong with television? Well, it needs more good drama. It needs more news in depth, great opera and so forth, and they're watching Gilligan's Island. It's very, very true.
Oh, I love Andy Griffith, the old Andy Griffith.
You watched well, you grew up when they originally were playing, right? You were
Yeah.
at that age?
Yeah, and my kids in high school used to call me Opie. So Opie Taylor, Opie, Oprah,
Yeah.
Opie. It's a funny thing, I got off the plane the other day, and it's interesting because, once you, get to be somewhat successful, then people recognize you, and it's all fun, and so you think,
enjoy that?
Oh, I really do. What I've realized, though, is that I don't get treated like Diana Ross. No, because I think the great thing about our show is that people feel like I'm one of them. So I got off a plane the other day in Washington, D.C., and a man came up to me and said, "Winfrey, put your name on here." And I said, "Does that mean you want an autograph, sir?" "Winfrey, where's your pen?" So I said, "Well, sir, I don't have a pen." He said, "Stay right here. I'm going to get a pen." So I thought to myself...
It was a black fellow, was it?
No, actually, no.
No.
So I said, "Okay, I'll stay here." And I thought to myself, does Diana Ross get told to stay here?
Yeah.
I'm going to get a pen. So it's fun, though. It's fun.
It's like when people say they have a picture, and then they say, you have a camera or a flashbulb with you or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
Did you enjoy your childhood? Was it a happy childhood?
For the most part, yes. I was really precocious. Now I look back on it and I say, oh, yeah, I gave my mother hell. Can you say that?
Sure.
Yeah, I gave my mother hell. And God bless her because she tolerated me until she couldn't and then sent me to live with my father.
We'll be right back. Stay where you are. All righty. Time to thank you all. Your picture, Native Son, is coming out soon.
Son's coming out. I'm excited about it.
Native Son, I wish you well with it.
Thank you.
Rosanna, nobody's fool is playing, as they say around the country. Good night. I'm humbled by that applause.